So in our last class, we created this folder called new Git class. I will right click and say Git bash here, so that we have this here. Then we are going to look at, in our last class we looked at git log, and I said git log we log the history, our git history, our commit history. We have our commit history here. Now next is, I now said under this git log we have other things that we can use with git log. We can say git log -, one line. This will compress each commit, each of these commits, it will compress it to just a single line. So let's press enter now. So we have this log one line. We also have git log -pretty equals to 4. This will give us more information than this one line. We have this. Then if you still want more information, you can use git log -pretty equals to fuller. This will give us even more information. Now we've looked at some of the git log commands. You can also check based on authors. You can say git log -author equals to Taye Abidakun. So it's going to give us all the authors. Remember, in our last class we looked at git config. So let's assume we have 2 different authors, then this is possible. Taye Abidakun. So I'm looking for all the commits made by this author. And we can say git log -glep. This glep allows us to search based on commit message. Remember, while this is a commit message, this is another commit message, this is another commit message, this is another commit message. I can just search for all the messages or all commits that has this that have this file, this word file. I want to search for all commits that have this word file. So I can say glep equals to file. So this will search for all the commits that have this word file in it. So these contains file, this contains file, this contains file, this contains file. Let's look for all the commits that have this word to. I run it again. Git commit -glep equals to 2. Oh, sorry. Git log, not commits. Git log -glep equals to 2. And you're going to see everything that all the commits messages that have this word to in it. Any question to that point, sir?
No.
Okay. So we want to look at Git branching. And branching is very important in Git. It's very, very important. What we do with branching is this. Let's assume you want to experiment in Git. So you can just create a branch. Then on that branch, you can add new codes there, experiment the way you want, so that it won't affect the main branch. Currently, we are on the main. So you can create a branch, do whatever you want on that branch. When you are done, then you can now come back to the main. Whatever happens in that branch will not affect the main. Do you understand the explanation, sir? You want to create a branch?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. So to create a branch, we say git branch, then the name of our branch. I can say, let's just say Taiwo. Git branch Taiwo. When we run this command, instantly it's going to create a branch for us called Taiwo. Then another very important thing we need to note here is that we are currently inside main, and we are running this command git branch Taiwo. So what it will do is it will clone whatever is inside this main and paste it here. So meaning that Taiwo is now like a duplicate of main. Taiwo is now like a duplicate of main. Git branch Taiwo. So when I run this command now, you can call it any name. Of course, you need to use a more descriptive name. I use Taiwo so that you can know that we can use any name of our choice. We can use any name whatsoever. Do you understand this at that point, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next is this. We want to add some codes inside Taiwo. Like I said, essence of branch is it allows us to experiment whatever we are doing without affecting the main branch. So, and this Taiwo now is a duplicate of main branch, but we are still inside main. The fact that we created this Taiwo branch does not mean we are automatically inside Taiwo. We are still inside the main branch. So we can now go to Taiwo. Maybe we now want to switch to Taiwo. But please note that at the moment, Taiwo is a duplicate of main. They have the same content in them. So we can say git checkout Taiwo. So we want to check out to Taiwo. Once I press enter, then we are currently inside Taiwo. Now I can say git log. Remember, we are yet to commit anything inside Taiwo. All the commits we made were made inside the main branch. So if I say git log, ordinarily you don't expect to see anything because you are yet to make any commit inside Taiwo. But because Taiwo is a duplicate of main, it's a duplicate. So whatever commits we made in main will also be available inside Taiwo because this Taiwo is a duplicate of main. Are we still together, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can say git log here, and we have all of this. All of this were made inside main. How we terminate this? Next, we now want to add some codes to Taiwo. But whatever we put inside Taiwo will not be in main. It will not be in main. So let's add new codes to it. So I'm going to open my code editor and add some things there. So I will come here, this to do, I will open this with my code editor, and I will add new codes there. I can say to do page. So I can say here is my to-do list. Here is OL LI it so I have here is my to-do list, and but this, remember again, we are currently inside the Taiwo branch. I will now save this. I will save this commit. I will say git at the name of the file is the name of the file I just edited is todo.html. So I'll say todo.html. So I've added it to the staging area like we discussed in our last class. Next is I can commit it. Git commit -m. I can just say codes of how to do is added to do.html file. So here is my commit message. Git commit -m to do's added to do.html file. So now one thing I want us to know here is that this commit that we are doing is currently inside Taiwo, not main branch. If we switch to the main branch, we won't see these commits. We won't. Let's switch to the main branch. Git checkout main. So we have switched to the main branch, and inside that our todo.html is now empty. That's because the code we added was inside the Taiwo branch, not in the main branch. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So the code we added was inside the Taiwo branch, not in the main branch. So if you switch back to the Taiwo now, if you say git checkout, if you say git checkout Taiwo, we will see our codes again. So when we go to the editor, we see our codes again. So let's now assume after viewing these codes, we are now comfortable with it. We think it is safe now. We think it is bug free or it's not going to constitute any problem. We can now merge it with the main branch so that the main branch will now be updated with these codes. We can now merge both of them together as one. Do you understand the explanation, sir?
Mm.
Okay, so in order to merge them together, please note this. We are currently inside Taiwo branch. What you're going to do is really check out of Taiwo and go back to the main. It's very important. When you are merging something with main, you do the merging in main, not in that branch. So I will check out to main, git check out main. So I'm currently back in my main branch. Then we can now say, please merge whatever is inside Taiwo, merge it with main, so that main and Taiwo will now be at the same level. So we can now say git merge Taiwo. So when we say git merge Taiwo, it will now add whatever codes that we have inside Taiwo, but not in main. It will now merge them together as one. So when we now check our main branch now, we have this. Although we are currently inside main, yet our codes are here. But these codes were added in the Taiwo branch, not in the main branch. You understand the explanation, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we've now merged both of them together as one. So if you want to experiment anything, you can create a branch, do your experiments there, test it. When we are now okay, when we are comfortable with it, we can merge that. We can now merge it together with the main branch. Your application is going to have a lot of branches. Create as many branches as you want, is fine. When we are done with the whole testing and we realize that everything is now working fine, now merge that with the main branch. That's because the application you are going to deploy is this main branch. At most, like in most circumstances, is this main branch. So whatever is inside this main will be what your users will be saying. Will be what your users will be saying. So if it has bug, then users will be using application with bug, which is not good. Any
Okay.
question on this issue of Git Blanching? Okay, let's look at something.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Another question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you have more than one branch?
Yes. In fact, the application we have many branches.
Okay.
The application we have many branches. You can have as much as possible. Let's look at
Okay.
something. We did something in our last class. In our last class, we did something like this git log, and in that class, we checked out to the first commit we made. That is this F75C5. So let's do that together in today's class. Git log F7 5C5D. So, git checkout. Sorry, git checkout F. I use git log F7 5C5D. Good. Look at something. We are currently inside that commit. That is the very first commit, and of course, our application will be at that stage. This is our application now. Application is currently at that state when we made the very first commit. And I want to point out to something here. Look at this. You will see an error message here. You are in detached head state. You are in detached head state. What that means is this. What we have here is just a commit ID. We are not inside any branch. We are not in the main. This is not main. We are not in Taiwo. We are just inside the commit. Now there is no problem with it if all we are just doing is to look to this, to see what we did there, then or things like that. There's no problem with being in these states. There's no problem. But there's a problem if we want to add new codes. Let's assume I want to add new codes to this commit, to this present state. Currently we only have two files now. That is the state of our application when we made the very first commit. Let's now say I now wish to add new code to this state. I want to add new things to this state. It is very wrong for me to now start adding them and then when I'm done, now commit. Yeah, you don't commit when you are inside another commit. It is bad. It is a very bad practice. It is just warning me that see, whatever you are doing here, well, you might lose it. If I had, what this just means is trying to warn me that if I had any set of codes to this, we may lose it at any point. And it's warning me that see, don't add any code, don't make commit while you're inside another commit. It's a bad practice. If I want to add new codes there, if I want to commit new set of things, what I can do is I can now create a branch. We can say git blanch. Then you can just give it any message, any name. Any name. I can say maybe Kenny. So git branch Kenny again is now going to clone this and make it available here. This Kenny now will now be a clone of this. Do you understand it, sir?
Yes.
So this Kenny will be a clone of this. Then I can now. So Kenny is now a clone of this. I can now check out the Kenny. Then whatever code I now wish to add, I can add it to Kenny. But it's a very bad practice to check out, to make a commit while you are inside another commit. You may lose your codes. So let's go back to the main branch now. So I just use that to explain the meaning of the detached end. Okay. Lastly for today, we are going to I think in our very first class, I asked us to register on github.com. So tonight we're going to take a step into that. Because starting from our next class, we are going to start pushing our codes online. So I'll go to github.com. I'll just go to my account. Let's just go to my own account. 21. So here's my account. github.com/at21 is logged in. Okay. Here's my account and some of the projects I have worked on. So let's say you see any of these projects that you like. Maybe you see any one of them, and you want to copy it. So to say, you want to steal it. Maybe you want to steal it. When I say steal now, I mean you want to bring it to your own device. What do you do? How do you go about it? So I'll pick this first one. I'll pick this calculator. So let's say I want to copy these codes and bring it to my device. How do I go about it? Please, just okay. Click on code. This code. Click on code. Then click on this copy. I've copied the URL. The only difference between this and this is that this one ends with .git. Just click on code, then copy this. I've copied it. Now go to anywhere on your device. So I will just create a folder. Just say maybe calculator. I'll just call it cal. Then I will say git bash. Yeah. So I'm currently inside the cat folder. I'll say, let me enlarge it and make it big. Git clone, then paste the URL. Paste. So this is to clone that project, meaning that you go online and fetch whatever is inside this place and make it available inside this folder, this calculator folder. If you make it available here, so it has, let me check if it has finished cloning. Yes, I've successfully cloned it. So let's open the calculator on our device now and see. Here is it. Here is the calculator. So I've copied the codes online and they are now available on my local device. Let's run it on the browser and see how the calculator looks. This is the calculator. Okay, I think this is, why check out this is this. Okay. So do we understand how that works? Let's say I see another project again and I want to copy it. Then we are not going to copy this. We are not going to. Let me find a small project that's very light. Okay. Okay, let's copy this one. I will just click on this. So here is it. Click on copy, this copy sign. Then go to your device. You can just create a folder just so that everything will be well structured. Create a folder there. I think taxi. So I'll say git bash here. Git clone, then paste. So once I paste it, it will fetch all those codes and make them available inside this folder. It's currently fetching. When it's done, we will run it on the browser and see it. So if I log into my accounts now, let's class, you're going to log in. You can search for any project of your choice. Like maybe you can just come and search for maybe phone. I can search for phone. And these are some of the projects on phone. So if you see, if you maybe you want to copy anyone, just click on it. Click on it. Then click on code, copy, and check. Just go to your device, create a folder. I can even copy it inside this one, just that it's not going to make everything. I mean, they just do it together. Since the title of this folder is taxi, let's call this one phone. When I'm done, I can now say git clone, then what I copied. Do you understand it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's run this taxi so that we see that. So this is what I just copied. It's loading. Okay. So I think everything here was done using CSS. So when we get to CSS, we'll be able to do all of this with CSS. This moving vehicle and bike, they were done using CSS. Everything on this page is done using CSS and HTML alone. Any question before we call it a day? So with summary of everything we've done so far today, we looked at Git, we look at Git branch, we look at Git log, and we look at Git clone, how to clone a project. Starting from our next class, we will now start pushing our own project. We just copied some people's project. This Go tags is my own project, one of those projects I worked on using CSS. But you just copied other. For instance, if I want to copy this, just click on this and copy. So, sir, you asked a question in our last class asking if projects can be available. Can you say how I just search using name? Let's say I want to do a school app, I can just search for school. It's not good. I'm just trying to tell you what is possible. I can just search for school and say, okay, search it on all GitHub. So if you search for school on GitHub, then I can now go to this and copy any one of my choice. Maybe I can check. I'll start checking the one after the other. This one was built with React Native. This one, let's say if I like about Scala, just go to it. And if you now see anyone that you like, you can click on it. Then code, then run it on your device. But this is not something that we even be doing, because for real, you will have to encode. Getting other people's project, most times we they're actually more stressful than even starting from the scratch on your own. And you will get better. But that's just to show us how to clone projects on Git. How to clone project on Git. In our next class, we will now start pushing our own code instead of copying other people's codes that we just did. We will now start pushing our own codes to Git. Not just that alone, we'll be able to use Git pages also to display our page. And in fact, that's the reason I'm taking us to Git. In order to do two things, number one, have our codes online in case anything happens to your own device. So our codes will be online. And number two, in order to host our codes so that we're able to host it on Git, we can just send the URL to someone to do that, to check out our page. So in our next class, we are going to see how to do that. But before then, please ensure that you are registered on this page, github.com. Ensure that you've completed the registration so that we can sign in and do that together. Any question before we go?
Uh, mm, for now, there's no question.
Okay, sir.
There's
So,
no question.
all right.
Okay, sorry, sir. Very cool.
Yes, sir.
So when we are copying other people's code,
Yes, sir.
does it mean that we are going to edit it or we are going to use it like that?
No, you're going
Because
to edit it. Let's say you want to,
uh,
you just go to it. Of course, you need to understand it, look at it,
uh,
go to it, then see what you can adjust and whatever you want to. But like I said, well, at a lot of times you'll be building your own applications yourself. Except, in fact, I even strongly encourage that you build yours yourself. Except maybe you need things urgently or for some other reasons. One of those things that we also need to consider, they are the tools used to build that application. We have different
okay,
tools. These are some of this one was built using Laravel, PHP, and Vue. So you need to consider all of this before cloning any project. You need to
okay,
consider it. So there must be technology that you know also, and all of that. So, but this is just something that is possible. Bootstrap, I heard Bootstrap was used to build this. Bootstrap is one of those things we are going to look at in this stage that we have. It's one of those things we are going to look
uh,
at.
okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. No worry. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
But I don't
And
think.
what about to our colleagues? We didn't see anybody online today.
Will I?
I say most of them don't come online today.
Yes, we send the recordings to them. For Git, well, maybe it may not be important, but please, when we start CSS, since
Mm,
I'm recording this class, so they are going to see what we are currently saying also. When we start CSS, please let everybody be available in order to ask questions. In order
um,
to ask questions.
okay,
It's going to be good. Well, I won't really want to take CSS, but please, I strongly encourage that we do that. We come to class and ask questions during
okay.
CSS class.
Yes, yes. Okay, sir.
So by
Thank
God's
you, sir.
grace, you're welcome, sir. By God's
Thank you,
grace,
sir.
we will finish Gates. Not we are not finishing Gates, like I said. We are just doing. We are going to
Uh,
complete a part of Gates. In our next stage, we continue. In the third stage, we still continue. We'll just take it step by step.
okay,
What we need per time. This is what we need at this moment. Or what I think we need at this moment. This is what I think we need at this moment.
okay,
So when we get to the next stage again, we'll do some things again that I think we need for that stage. Then on and on like that. The reason is this: Git has a lot of commands, and you don't want to put everything in your head. One, and there's no point teaching you all of these things if you won't need them at this stage that we are in. So in our next
okay,
stage, we continue. But on Thursday, which is our next class, we will round off Git for this stage. And after rounding it off, I strongly advise that you push all your projects, all your projects online. Anything can happen to your system tomorrow. Nobody prays for such, but it happens, and it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
oh,
Please
okay, sir.
push all your projects
Thank
online.
you,
You're welcome, sir.
thank you, thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.